After 3.5, 4 years of avoiding COVID, I tested positive.
Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different. You must be.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Ashley's Anatomy. I'm Ashley, and I talk about life living with a rare autoimmune disease called myasthenia gravis. And I also blog about locks and try to drop gems on how to maintain healthy hair. On my channel, you can expect real shit. So I just want to share my experience on how it is living with a disability, especially immunocompromised in today's day and age. This year, I want to do a better job with sharing my story, especially with my YouTube family. I wanted to open up and share my experience on exactly what it was like being immunocompromised and actually having COVID-19. I know I'm giving you all a little snippet, like a background to understand my disease process, and so you can really understand why it was so terrifying for me to get COVID-19. I'm also going to talk about my symptoms, treatments, side effects, and of course like my recovery and that recovery period. So if you're interested, stay tuned. And if not, maybe you're here for like some lock content, and you know, my bad babe, it's coming, I promise. You can also check out like my other socials. I got you next time. But right now, just sit back and get to know the girl with the locks. So I just wanted to break down a little bit of what myasthenia gravis is. I did go to school, and I'm a registered respiratory therapist, so I have actually treated MG patients before. So you know, just try to flow with me for a minute. So simply put, my body with myasthenia gravis is doing the most. It's beating itself up, and it's creating an antibody that blocks the receptors that are on my muscles that are there to receive messages from my brain to say, I don't know, contract, move, do what muscles do. Message is blocked by other antibodies. Some of the receptors are destroyed. Like I said, some of them are blocked. And at that little neuromuscular junction where, you know, actions are sent, demands are sent from your brain to like your muscle or whatever voluntary muscle, you know, that we were talking about. It can't receive the message, so it results in a crappy signal ultimately, right? My muscles on their own have a crappy signal. So when I get sick, when my body has to, on top of fighting itself, has to also fight a foreign invader, a virus, bacterial infection, whatever, a cold, the flu, COVID, it's crazy. But my symptoms, how did I figure out that I had COVID? I don't really go anywhere. Some of you may or may not know, I'm pretty much self-employed. I sell my candles, I have my blog. I really don't leave my house like at all. I do have to go to doctor's appointments, but I'm always double masked up using hand sanitizer. Temp was 99.1. Okay, my temp, and this may sound very crazy, but I know like my resting temp, and it is not 99.1. Swabbed myself, and immediately before even 15 minutes was up on the home test, it was showing like two lines, meaning the control and like the test me, it was positive. So I was just like, all right, don't freak out. Well, at this point, I'm just noticing everything is like hitting. I'm like, wow, you really don't feel well. Like, I'm having shortness of breath. My chest is hurting. I just felt really, really sick. My eyes are very low, meaning like my MG symptoms were clearly flaring and acting up. So I was just like, what should I do? And she was just like, call the doctor. They usually have a helpline or emergency line, and he's going to get you connected with your neurologist. So I called my neurologist. I went to the hospital, went to the emergency room. Because of my disease, the whole like me being triaged and stuff is fairly quick. They monitored me, And of course reached out to my treating provider, my neurologist, because he's the expert in myasthenia gravis. And that's how they pretty much went about creating my treatment regimen and whatnot. I'm gonna skip the details about the hospital because it mostly included me sleeping a lot, being disoriented, barely being able to like get around, and then they send me home because they felt that I was like stable enough and they did not want to keep my ass in the hospital like and get sicker. And neurologist decided to prescribe me Paxlovid. Paxlovid is a antiviral medication. It consists of a total of 4 pills, right? The first 2 pills are, I can't pronounce the names, so I'm gonna drop them like and look at this video somewhere. I'm gonna have them. So you have, 4 pills total, but you take 2 for like your morning dose of those 2 medications, and then you take 2 of, I believe, the same medications, but it's for your like evening or nighttime dose. I actually ended up getting the medication in the afternoon around like 12:30. So instead of taking it for the morning, I actually took it in the afternoon. I made sure I ate something and I took the first 2 pills day 1 and immediately was sick to my stomach. Like could not keep anything down after I took the medication. I just slept, tried to eat some stuff, and then I had to take the second dose for the day, and I was just like, can't do this. I can't do this. And I actually ended up throwing up like all of that. Like I ended up throwing up. I don't know. I thought I was crazy. I kept having this like weird taste in my mouth. Like it tasted like iron, but like acidic. It was so nasty, a specific taste. And I just was like, what is this? And I looked it up and they call it like Paxlovid mouth. It's like some people report when they take that antiviral medication that they have like this nasty taste in their mouths consistently while the medication is in their system. And yeah, I am a very sensitive person. Like taste and smells and stuff, like I will throw up. I will like, I don't play that. Like my stomach does not, like it doesn't want it. Yeah, I spent the first 2 days on this medication. It was a 5-day dose pack, right? And I'm taking 4 pills every day for 5 days. And my mouth tasted disgusting. I couldn't keep the medication down. So my first 2 days on this medication were rocky. But let me tell you this, my symptoms, my COVID symptoms did kind of dissipate. They kind of like chilled out, and I felt like, okay, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I felt a little better when I started the medication. I could see improvements by day 2. By day, I want to say maybe 3, I noticed like, okay, you need to really take this medication. Like it needs to stay down so it can be effective. I remember that I had Zofran. At 8, I would try to drink some fluids, get like something solid on my stomach, like some bread, some saltine crackers or something, eat. And then I would take the Zofran and the Paxlovid, and I was able to keep it down. Talk about the actual side effects, like what I really despised about my experience of doing this 5-dose pack with the Paxlovid. And I'm on like other like medication infusions and stuff to like treat my autoimmune disease. There are a lot of drug interactions. Like, so I could not take the anxiety medication while I was actually taking the Paxlovid, plus 3 days after I completed my dose pack. So what is that, like a total of like 8.5 days of not taking your anxiety medication? I was in a lot of turmoil during this whole experience. I felt like crap mentally, physically. I really had high hopes of starting my year off with like a bang and really giving way more effort and just being more conscious and like mindful of the things that I'm posting, because I do feel that a lot of the things that I want to talk about should be, like spoken on. But when I'm in a low place mentally and physically, it's just so hard to do anything. And like I said, I had finally built myself up to a point to like get back and start doing things, and I lost all my momentum being sick. And Other side effects besides me like losing my mind, off my meds, I did get an ear infection. They prescribed me antibiotic, doxycycline, to treat it. That was cool. You know, I always get ear infections, so to be expected, honestly. And I also ended up getting thrush. And if you don't know what thrush is, well, how fortunate for you. It is basically you have like a buildup of yeast on your tongue. So about 2 weeks, maybe 14 days exactly, of doing the treatment for, you know, the dose pack for Paxlovid, I started to notice like I was feeling really crappy again, like I was experiencing symptoms again. So I immediately scheduled a doctor's appointment with my primary care physician and was like, maybe y'all need to like test me again. Like, I'm sure I should be like coming out of this, but I feel like I just got reinfected. And, you know, the doctor started to talk about this occurrence, this effect that some people are experiencing with Paxlovid called like a rebound effect. I did Google it and did some research, and the symptoms that some other people were reporting was like spot on for what I was experiencing. I felt great after taking the antiviral for about 2 days. I started to notice like, oh wow, I feel like I'm gonna live. And then maybe like 14 days later, I was like, did I reinfect myself? Like, what is going on? I feel very sick again. And I was also still testing positive. I just really wanted to share my experience because I know if you're anything like me, you're also immunocompromised, or maybe if you even have myasthenia gravis, you're probably scared to death of getting an infection. And like I said, I really thought that it was over for me, but I wanted to be a reference or just have someone to look at this video and say like, wow, like, yeah, it sucks, and these are the things that, you know, she dealt with when she was infected, and maybe there's hope for me as well. I don't know. I just think it's important to just get the information out there. I haven't seen a lot of information even speaking about my disease, like MG, like in general, let alone the experiences of other people who are like immunocompromised with getting, you know, COVID. I'm still on like the healing journey. I'm on the mend, but I'm still here, so I'm thankful. I just wanted to share my experience and hopefully make someone else feel a little more at ease about it. Like, of course, it's scary. If you're immunocompromised, or even if you're not, no one wants to be sick and not feeling well. Yeah, and I will be making videos soon talking about like my new treatment schedule, my experience with that. Like, I'll take you all on that whole journey with me. Like I said, I'm going to do a much better job documenting and sharing with my YouTube family. And with me saying that, I actually do want to share something with you all before I share it with anybody. So this is like an exclusive. So I couldn't wait to share this great news. I actually like created some books. I made 3 actually. So this journal is called My MG Journal, and it's specifically like crafted and edited for people with myasthenia gravis to track your pain, medication, treatments, appointments, everything is in here. But I also, like, I know everybody doesn't have MG, so I made 2 other journals called the Sick Bitch Journal and also the Spoonie Journal for chronically ill peeps to be able to track their symptoms. And, you know, if you're anything like me, if you don't write it down, you don't remember. So I wanted to create this. I realized that it's something that I really need, especially now that I'm starting a new treatment. So throughout my launch week, I will be launching this on January 27th, this Friday, on my website and also on Amazon. So if you're not in the US, you can absolutely still purchase any of my chronic illness journals. But I will be going on live and doing some other things on social media. So make sure you check out @_Ashley's Anatomy on Instagram and TikTok so that you can stay privy. And also sign up for email updates on my website, which is ashleys.anatomy.com. I'm so excited. I couldn't wait to share that with you all. It's been great, like, coming on and like just vibing with you all, telling you my experience. Hopefully I can do more of this, and hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to check out some of my other videos if you are loving like how I got my locks like this. And thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment if you enjoyed. See you later.
Tell me what you see in me.